What are these contributing factors? And I think we would have seen a lot in the media about this, a lot of press coverage around this sort of stuff. And we're seeing every day an increase in pressure on the agricultural industry to reduce emissions, driven initially by Kyoto and Paris agreements, which are now progressively being put into governmental policies and regulation. Additionally, we have the other sort of community expectations around shareholder and consumer expectations. We have cost pressure, cost of living, and Australia's commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emissions as well, commonly referred to as the safeguard mechanism as well. So lots of pressures pushing on poor old agriculture. The overarching commitment, though, to report on emissions at a corporate level is making it necessary for us to feedback as market participants all of our emissions so that they can be reported by those corporates in that production supply chain. I know I certainly feel it, and I can sense that there's probably some angst in our virtual room here today around this uncertainty, a bit of anxiety, concern around more cost and effort that we're going to have to invest into an already very, very stretched sector. But all of this regulation does present us with an opportunity, somewhat a silver lining. I've got that big green arrow coming the other direction as well. So agriculture is somewhat unique, and it does all come down to measurement, but we are one of the only industries that has the ability to create emissions offsets. Many industries can't do this. All they can do is reduce their emissions. They don't have the ability to go beyond net zero. We can create offsets. So under the safeguard mechanism, corporates are set targets, and if they can't reach their required emissions reduction targets, they are required to buy and surrender offsets. Now, those offsets just happen to be ACCUs. They're one of the applicable tools to offset emissions, and we can help them to assist them to meet their safeguard requirements. So to tie it all back, emissions reductions targets in other industries are creating a demand for our ACCUs, and they're also creating a demand for that other second context, which is the low emissions intensity product as well. So they can reduce their inputs first by producing low input products. So we can monitor that through the platform, and we can also create ACCUs to actually offset. We can use them ourselves to reduce our intensity, or we can on-sell them to those participants as well.